Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to bring you another WWE Raw and NXT Takeover review. So, people, I didn't get a chance to do a review on Friday night for NXT Takeover and for SmackDown. I didn't get a chance to watch TNA either, so this will be my review for the NXT Takeover since it was a really good show, and I'm gonna review Raw. So let's get into first your NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way review. So, start off with the pre-show NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way. I like that they're adding the hyphen of or the add-on of Fatal 4-Way to the pay-per-view instead of it just being a regular NXT Takeover. I think that's a good idea. But start off with the pre-show. You get Albert, Riley, and Renee Young who are doing the pre-show. Riley was the only person that was kind of off here as always for me. And I did like some of the interviews they had, like with Sasha Banks and with William Regal. I thought they were pretty entertaining. They did one where you had C.J. Parker walk in on William Regal and ask for a match. I thought that was entertaining enough. And, I thought it was an okay pre-show for what it was. Going into the actual show, NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, this was actually a really fun show. Not as good as the previous Arrival and the previous TakeOver, but this TakeOver for the Fatal 4-Way I thought was very fun to watch. And you kick it off where they do the whole where they do the whole thing of where they show the WWE logo and it goes then, now, and forever, and you got the NXT logo busting in onto the whole thing with the static TV stuff, trying to show the whole thing of taking over the WWE. So you get your announcers tonight, which is Renee Young, Todd Phillips, and Brian Saxton, and I thought they did an okay job here tonight. Todd Phillips is pretty good at what he does, and as long as you got somebody that's not like Rowley that's gonna overplay Renee, she's pretty good. And Brian Saxton is okay, but sometimes he can be a little bit too pushy. So as far as the start of the show goes, you get the first match, which is for the NXT Tag Titles, and it's the Luchas, which I was calling for a while, versus the Ascension. And these guys put on a pretty good match. Going into this tag team match, it starts off pretty slow, where you get Sin Cara, who's doing a lot of moves and stuff like that, and just trying to do his best to keep up. To get these guys going into the match with some aerial stuff. But you get the Ascension, who just beat down on him for a while and just do that type of stuff. I thought as far as that goes, is doing it what the Ascension does. They're basically been in squash matches for a while, so they're doing exactly what they usually do. Then you get Kalisto, who really goes in and kicks it in the second gear, does all his moves and stuff like that. Everything that's crazy, hits him with the Surreal del Sol, and picks up the win. And you got your new tag team champions, which they're now called the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara. I thought they had a pretty fine match. I thought the second part of the match was a lot better once Kalisto got in and he really did pick up the pace of this match and started making it a lot of fun. So pretty chill match here, and Kalisto's going to be a star, man. Just if he can get his promos to get better and get that stuff, his in-ring work is pretty chill. A little bit green here and there, but not green, but a little bit sloppy going into the WWE style, but I think he's pretty chill. He'll go far. Next, you get C.J. Parker, who comes out, and a guy named Baron Corbin's already in the ring. And this Baron Corbin dude, man, big and tall and looks like a fucking beast. But you thinking that C.J. Parker and him maybe have like a back and forth match. He squashes the shit out of C.J. Parker, hits him with his finisher, and just walks out of the ring after he picks up his win. Very nice squash match, and this dude Baron Corbin looked really, really good here. Just a fucking beast of a guy. Look at this fucking dude. Like, he kept that face during the whole time, did not change it, and I really did like that. His tats, everything works for this guy. Hopefully, they can find somebody to either cut a promo for him if he can't cut a promo. But, I think the way he looks and, we'll see how he wrestles. I think he'll be a pretty cool looking guy for especially what you're having here in NXT. So next you get your hair versus hair match, Sylvester Lefort versus Enzo Amore, and they show the whole thing of what happened in the salon when Enzo was getting the hair solution. And then you get Sylvester Lefort and Marcus Louis come out. Marcus Louis in his tight-ass striped shirt. I was laughing my ass off at that. And then you get Enzo and Big Cass come out. They cut a promo to those guys doing their whole little stick, and then start talking shit about Sylvester and Marcus and stuff like that. Pretty funny promo here. They actually add on some little extra stuff here. And then you get the match between these two guys. Pretty simple match. Nothing really happens. Enzo wins up with a roll-up. And then you get Sylvester Lefort, who's basically trying to get out of the match and pleading to get out. Enzo did pick up the win here, but Sylvester Lefort just basically runs away while Marcus Louis is getting beat up on the side and stuff. He gets taken to the top and gets the solution put on him. You get very funny. You get Big Cass, who yells at Enzo, slaps him in the chest, and does the whole Dudley thing of get the bucket, or like the Dudleys do, get the table. I thought that was pretty funny. Hit Marcus Louis with the solution, and then you get Marcus Louis, who runs away with the bucket on his head. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I liked the way they did here. Really, the match was nothing there, but I like Enzo and I like Big Cass and how they played this up, and I thought that was pretty funny. So you get all that, and next you get William Regal, who's introduced to the ring by JoJo, and the crowd get a big hype for him because he's the new general manager, and he goes to bring out Kenta, who was being hyped up for a while about coming down to NXT and being arrived onto the NXT Fatal 4-Way show. And you get Kenta, who comes out, cuts a promo in Japanese, then goes into English. Got a couple of boos for doing a Japanese promo a little bit long. And he basically announced that he really wants to be here and that he's starting anew and he's going to change his name to Hideo Itami. As far as his name goes, I like the Kenta name. I really do. The Hideo Itami name isn't bad, but the biggest problem is that they've been promoting the shit out of him as Kenta. So in my mind, he's Kenta. Even though I've never really seen matches from him before, what I know from him is Kenta because the WWE promoted him for damn near several weeks and when they was doing a signing as Kenta and not as a Japanese star that we're signing. You don't know who he is, but we're going to name him Hideo Itami when we come to the ring. He talks about how this is a name that, you know, he's going after somebody who he admires, and they're not sure if I'm not sure if it's a wrestler named Hideo or if it was Hideo Kojima, the video game guy, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do with Hideo and how they push him and stuff like that, and see if he can get over the whole name change. So then you get the Ascension, who come out, beat him up, throw him out the ring, then ask for matches against the Lucha Dragons again. And then Hideo gets in the ring, kicks both of them, and then gets a chair, sits down, and tells them to bring it, which I really did like it. I thought that was very good for him, and gets his hand lifted up and stuff like that. So as far as the debut goes, not too much to anything to it. I did like him coming out and doing his thing. He had a lot of hard time speaking English here, but, you know, I thought it was the best that you're going to get, especially with a name change. So after that, you get Mojo Rawley versus Bull Dempsey, and this match just basically both of these guys coming out and just brawling for a minute and just going at each other. Bull gets up, beats the shit out of Mojo, hits him with these headbutts, hit him with a headbutt off the rope, and then pins him 1, 2, 3, picks up the win, and then gets up and hits him another fucking headbutt, and that's how you end this. Another squash match, just Bull Dempsey beating the shit out of Mojo Rawley, busted Mojo Rawley open here. It's just fucking crazy. Just surprised Mojo's getting demolished at every one of these pay-per-views. So it is what it is. But Bull looked okay here. I like that he added something new to his arsenal. But it was a whatever match for what it was. Next, you get Marcus Louis being dragged out by Big Cass and Enzo. They saw him in the back after they were looking for Sylvester to get his haircut, or at least to see Marcus bald. And you get Enzo, who's just joking about the whole thing and just seriously trying to find his guys at the back. They bring him out and snatch off the towel off his head, and you get to see a nice shaved, patchy head Marcus Louis with no eyebrows as well. So I thought I got a good laugh out of it. It's just the way he looked, how alien he looked here. Surprising that he shaved off his eyebrows for this. The dude went at it and he did it. So I thought that was pretty funny and a pretty nice look as far as, you know, just a good thing to get over with the crowd here. So next you get your Divas match and your second to last match of the night. And this is Bayley versus your NXT Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, which you get to start off with Bayley they cut a promo with her, and she's talking about how she's been longing to, you know, be in a WWE and fight for these titles and stuff like that, and how she's been wanting to do this since she was a kid and stuff, and how since coming to NXT, she has tried to go through a lot of hardships. And then you get Charlotte, who comes in and just basically says that she is the diva, she is the baddest chick in the game, and just hyping herself up, hyping her lineage up. They start, she starts going into more about her, and then they start talking about the whole thing where, she turned on Bayley, which I kind of forgot about this. Not forgot, but, wasn't thinking about this going towards this match. But yeah, they had a lot of history where she turned on Bayley and stuff, and just all the shit that they've been doing to Bayley. So a lot of hyping up with this promo, and I thought it was a pretty good promo. You even got Bayley crying a little bit here. So you get into also talking about Charlotte versus Natalya, which was a really good match as well. So you get into the match, and first, there you go. So you get Bayley, who comes out first, and she comes out dressed in these streamers and stuff like that, which I thought looked really good on her, just very playful for her. And then you get Charlotte, who comes out. Charlotte tries to shake Bayley's hand, gets a handshake from Bayley. Bayley doesn't take it, attacks her, and they just go back and forth. And then you get Charlotte, who gets into these figure four headlocks and just starts just starts beating the shot of Bayley with these, banging her head into the floor and getting her and flipping her with the figure four headlock into the mat and everything, just really going at her. Bayley does come back for some offense and do some little things like the Hurricane from the turnbuckle, but you get Charlotte, who just goes at her and just keeps going at her, really not letting her get up and stuff like that. The end of the match comes where Charlotte goes for a moonsault, and she kind of overshoots it and misses it. It doesn't really take that much from the match, but she hits her what they're now calling her bow down to the queen, which they're now calling what they calling her fucking move now, natural selection or something like that. I like bow down to the queen better, but she hits that and then picks up the win here. You get Sasha Banks, who comes out, attacks Bayley, and then your still champion gets back in the ring and just goes and helps out Bayley and pushes Sasha Banks off of her. So I'm not really too happy about them trying to push a little babyface angle with Charlotte. I think that Charlotte is a full-blown heel. It should stay full-blown heel. But if it is them pushing more of a triple threat match between these three girls, then I'm fine with that. But as far as that goes, I thought the match was very good. I thought both of these girls did a good job. Charlotte really did show her flair here, no pun intended. And Bayley, I thought, really did a good job of playing a babyface role in peril. So I thought that all that was good. And Sasha Banks just also playing a good heel afterwards. So then you get into your final main event match for NXT Takeover, the Fatal 4-Way match, show named after. And they do all these little promo videos throughout the night, showing them off, talking to each other and stuff. You get Tyson Kidd, who does a promo video and just, basically putting in these fact things that he did from the other night. You get Tyler Breeze, who does one as well. And I like that he had these girls trying to offer him jackets, and one was massaging them and stuff, and just him throwing that off and saying that he's going to be the beautifulest champion ever, and that every one of his outfits goes with gold. Then you get Sami Zayn, who does one, and you get other wrestlers like, I think it was Daniel Bryan and stuff, that was talking about how good Sami Zayn is. So all that stuff I really liked. And then you get Adrian Neville, who gets one, and they're really hyping up his Monday night showing and everything that he did with the red arrow and how it was being shown and retweeted and it was being trending on Twitter and stuff like that. So, all that stuff from Raw was being basically put on to Adrian Neville, saying that he really got a big hype from it. So as far as the match goes, you get Tyson Kidd, who comes out with these ear headphones and stuff like that. I thought that was a good look, and everybody else comes out, and the match was just pretty good. It was really crazy. All four guys just going at each other. Started off pretty slow at first, just, them doing their thing, just basically trying to figure out how they're going to get at each other, starts pushing each other out to the ring, on the outside of the ring and stuff. But once they go in, start giving each other, slams into the stage and stuff, getting into the ring, a lot of jumps, a lot of flips, a lot of crazy moves, a lot of near falls. Tyler Breeze had some of the craziest near falls here, and I really didn't think he was going to win. I was really marking out for his moments and stuff. Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd had a great gang of good near falls too. They hit this tower, big old tower slam that they they did, I thought looked pretty nice. Some ROH type stuff there, and just everything else that they were doing, just protecting each other from the pins and from the submissions and stuff. Sami Zayn looking really good, getting all his moves off, and then you get this one part where Sami Zayn looks like he's about to win after hitting the Helluva Kick, getting ready to get the pin. 1, 2, and almost 3. Adrian Neville pulls the referee out of the ring, and I was like, oh shit, man. He gets a bunch of boos from the crowd. Then Sami Zayn gets on the outside and ends up getting a kick eating a kick from Adrian Neville. Adrian Neville gets in the ring, hits his red arrow, and picks up the win, and still your NXT champion. Very good match between all these guys, and they really did their thing here, man. Just really, really good match. One of the best Fatal 4-Way matches I've seen in a long, long time. So you get Adrian Neville, still champion, and that's how you end the show. As far as this NXT Takeover goes, I would give it most definitely a A-. I didn't think it was the A+ that Arrival was, or the straight A that NXT Takeover was, but Takeover Fatal 4-Way was really good, and I give it an A-. I thought that the beginning matches weren't really great. They were kind of fluff a little bit, but the rest of everything else was pretty good. It was really good, and the main last 2 matches was really good as well. So very fun show. So going into the Fallout, you had some good things with Enzo and Big Cass talking about the whole thing of Marcus Louis getting his head shaved and stuff like that, and just Enzo cutting this really funny promo at the end and stuff like that. And then you had Sasha Banks, who came out and basically talked shit to Bayley and Charlotte, cut a really nice promo as well between all 3 girls, and just get between a promo with all of them and stuff like that, hyping up the stuff that they're going to do for next. So hopefully we get a triple threat match out of that, and Sasha talking about how she's not ratchet and how she should be next to Contender and stuff like that. And then after that, you get Triple H and Adrian Neville and them, and Triple H did cut a thing where he was talking about how good the show was, and everything like that and stuff, and talked about the champion Adrian Neville. They did have him there and stuff to talk about his win and stuff like that. So really good show and everything, and got all these guys coming in and stuff like that. So even more goodness coming to NXT. And also you had Triple H talking about how he wants NXT to be the brand that's going to go against WWE. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that comes up, and how he portrayed this developmental brand into something that's actually a really good show. So that was NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way. Really good show. And let's get into Raw finally. Raw happened on the September 15th, 2014. And you start off with John Cena and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes to the ring, and he's basically with John Cena. John Cena's telling him, where's Brock Lesnar, trying to get him to bring out Brock Lesnar. He kind of tricks John Cena into thinking Brock Lesnar comes out. John Cena doesn't take it and tells Paul that he got into halftime to show Brock Lesnar, basically halftime of the NFL game, to make Brock Lesnar come, or he's going to beat the shot of him. And he sends him to the back and brings out Great Khali, asks him to stand in front of the door and guard. So, yeah, that's what it is. And also, Khali was doing this all through the night, and they kept checking on Paul Heyman with Khali back there. He even crushes Paul Heyman's phone at one point and picks up the crushed phone and tries to say hello into the phone. Is there any connection or some shit, which I got a pretty good laugh out of. Just Khali's dumb voice saying that shit. But after that, you get a match with Chris Jericho and Kane. A very slow match, nothing really much to it, just them playing up Kane taking off the belt turnbuckle and stuff and trying to run Chris Jericho into the steel. Kane ended up getting hit with the steel himself and then getting rolled up pin for Chris Jericho. Jericho did get busted open on under his chin at this match, so it is what it is, but very slow match, really nothing to it. After that, you get a match between Bo Dallas and Jack Swagger, and they just played this match, just these two going at each other, very slow as well, and Swagger giving Bo Dallas the ankle lock, Patriot lock, and Bo tapping from this. So I'm not sure if they're going to continue with this match going into the pay-per-view, or if this is going to be just their end, and they're just ending it right now. After that, you get Brie Bella and AJ Lee versus Nikki and Paige in a tag team match, and this basically was Nikki just trying to talk Brie the whole time, and Paige just beating the shot of Brie while in the ring. You get Nikki, who goes onto the outside while Brie is trying to go for a tag, pulls AJ's leg so Brie couldn't get the tag. Then Rampage DDT hit onto Brie Bella, and Paige picks up the win here. And then you get Nikki, who hits her finisher onto Brie and just stands tall over there. Really nothing to this match at all. It did show a little bit of character from these two girls, and I would rather see them in a match than doing these whack-ass promo segments, but they just need to let these girls brawl. And at the end of the match, they had AJ Lee what do you call it, skip around the ring while Paige was trying to imitate her skipping and just have her try to mirror her. And it was just, nothing to this, just really boring. I would have rather seen Paige and AJ just beat the shit out of each other for 3 weeks straight, just, brawling in the back and stuff like that. Just really just rough girls, and just have them to attack each other and just beat the shit out of them like hardcore women would. So, this playing up thing just really doesn't do it for me at all. After that, you get a match with Big Show versus Bray Wyatt. You have Bray Wyatt cut this promo on the screen where he talked about how he's here to take down a giant and called him Goliath and stuff like that, and saying, how nobody believed that he could take down such a giant and stuff like that. And you get into the match, and this was actually a pretty chill match for the most part. If you would have gave this some good hype, I thought these two guys could have really got something great for the pay-per-view, but they just bring it off of one night at SmackDown where they gave some interaction to each other, now giving these two a match. The match was pretty chill. It was fine for what it was. They both showed some good stuff in this match. You had Big Show, who was running the ropes here. It looked like he was going to topple the ring over. That was pretty fun. And Bray Wyatt did get some really good hype here and made himself look strong here. Big Show looked like he was going to win after he almost chokeslammed Bray Wyatt. And then you get the Wyatt family who comes in for the breakup, and Big Show wins by DQ here. It was an okay match, like I said. Nothing really too much to it, but if you could have hyped this up, it would have been a really good match, and I could see this match at the pay-per-view, but not that much hype to it. So you get Big Show, who chokeslammed both Wyatt members, and you get Bray Wyatt, who just laughs on out the outside. And they're going to have some type of 6-man tag match on SmackDown, so seeing where they go from here with this. After that, you get a 6-man tag match with the Dust Brothers and Cesaro versus Sheamus and the Usos. Nothing really big to this match. I did think that once it got into speed and the Usos started doing their thing, it did kick up, and Sheamus really did haul out and was using a lot of good stuff after the hot tag and stuff like that. And I thought the Dust Brothers did okay here with their things. You get Cesaro, who hits Sheamus with the neutralizer, and it looks like Cesaro's going to pick up the win. The Usos come to stop it. Then they go into their fury and hit the the Samoa Splash, and dive onto the Dust Brothers and the Usos, and Sheamus pick up the win here. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do with this at Night of Champions. But the match itself was pretty chill once they all got speed caught up. But still, the stories here is not too much that keeps the crowd interested too far and too long. So after that, you get John Cena, who comes in halftime, pulls Paul Heyman to the ring, and is talking shit to Paul Heyman, saying he's going to beat the shit out of him. You get Paul Heyman, who comes back saying, "Fuck it, Cena, go on and do it. Go on and hit me. It would just make you the beast that I always thought you was, and that's the Paul Heyman guy that the audience knew you was that you should be." You get the audience to start hitting the yes chant for when he calls him the Paul Heyman guy if he hits him. John Cena says he's not going to hit him. Paul Heyman keeps taunting him more and more, and just gives him the evil look and just the dirty ass look that Paul Heyman really does well. John Cena gets pissed off, pushes him after Paul Heyman says some more words, and then you get the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, who comes out, and Brock just comes out, circles the ring, gets Paul Heyman up, gives John Cena this big ass crazy look. Doesn't at first show that he's going to get in the ring. They play it up. Finally gets in, Cena attacks, they brawl for a second, and you just get Brock Lesnar, who hits him with the German suplex, and it looks like Cena's just going to get demolished again. Brock gets out the ring, and Cena just hops in, attacks Brock Lesnar again, starts beating the shit out of him on the outside. They start going for a little bit back and forth, but you get Cena on top, just beating the shit out of him. The security or whatever you want to call them come down, break it up, hold back Cena, and you just get a big stare down between both Cena and Brock Lesnar, hyping up the pay-per-view. I like this here. I like the stuff that they did with Cena and Paul and then Brock here. I thought it was okay here. It didn't really push the strength to any one guy, so it wasn't just one guy beating the shot of one another. It was just both of them kind of getting back and forth here. So a lot of people start to think that Cena's going to win a title back. I still only mind that Brock is going to keep it after Night of Champions. You'll see me do my predictions. I might not do any reviews besides an NXT review on Friday, but I will most definitely get my predictions out for the United Champions pay-per-view. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens with everybody here and with this main event match here. So I thought this added some more stuff to this match and what was especially being brought down from the earlier stuff in the build-up, but this was pretty fine for what it was. After that, you get this horrible match with Cameron versus Nyomi. You get Cameron who tries to pin Nyomi with Nyomi laying on her belly. That's really all I have to say about that. They gave her most of the offense here. It was very bad. A lot of botches. Nyomi really didn't do anything towards the end when she hits a submission. Looks like she was choking a shot of Cameron here, which she should. And they were basically playing up to Total Divas here. Nothing too much out of this. Nyomi picks up the win. After that, you get the stunt double and actor of Miz and Sandow versus the champion and stunt double of Dolph Ziggler and Art Ziggler. They had this on SmackDown, which I thought was pretty funny at first. This right here was okay. It wasn't as funny as it was on SmackDown when they first saw it. R-Truth looks weird without pants. That's the only thing I gotta say. But they go at each other, have a little match back and forth. You get Sandow who gets hit by the Miz on accident, and then Dolph Ziggler hits him with the zigzag and picks up the win here and have a big stare down with the Miz. After that, you get Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. They both do backstage promos. Roman Reigns saying that he's going to beat the shot of Seth Rollins until his fist are bloody, and Seth Rollins basically saying Roman Reigns is a fucking Neanderthal. Starts doing this whole monkey walk like he's a Neanderthal, and it just looks stupid. It really didn't fit Seth Rollins' character, but it's basically saying that he's smarter than Roman Reigns, and that's the reason why he's going to win tonight. And they have a match, and it was a really good match. There's a lot of back and forth between these two guys. Seth Rollins trying to play up the fact that he's smarter than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns playing up the fact that he's stronger and can beat the shot of Seth Rollins. And you did really get with Seth Rollins, who, just played every chance he could get to trick Roman Reigns into not hitting his, 5 moves of doom. But they just have a really good match. There's a lot of back and forth between these guys. Goes down where Roman Reigns thinks he's going to hit the trying to hit his spear. Seth Rollins jumps over that, goes back and forth with Roman Reigns again, and then finally Roman Reigns hits his spear for the end. In a very fun match here. These two did very well going against each other. Surprisingly, they're still going to have the match at the pay-per-view, so I guess they're just using this as the build-up to the match. I'm surprising that they didn't try to push anything extra with this, but it is what it is, and I thought these two had a pretty fun match between each other, and hopefully they can bring this onto the pay-per-view and make it even better. So after that, you get something that was played up onto on Friday with a arm wrestling contest, and it was Rusev versus Henry. And with that, you had Henry, who basically beat Rusev twice on the arm wrestling, and since Rusev didn't want to get beat again, Lana threw powder into Henry's face. So I thought that was a really good thing on SmackDown. I thought that really looked nice, and Rusev, Henry, and Lana really played that up very well, especially giving Henry some good arm wrestling contest wins over Rusev and making him look stronger, just giving the heel definition to Lana, especially Lana, which now you see her getting more heelish stuff in on Rusev, but I thought that was pretty good. And then you get Henry, who comes out to this basically pushing up of all the Americans, saying that he wants to, get everybody in and get all the spirits high for the match and stuff like that. So he comes out, everybody in the crowd has these small American flags. He gets in there with Michael Cole and starts cutting this promo about how, he was in the Olympics but had to quit because of his injuries and stuff like that. Then you get Lana, who comes out, starts talking shit about Mark Henry, saying that he also quit in 92 because of injuries or whatever, and he did it because he was afraid of the guy who won that year, who was a Russian as well. So they go back and forth with the conversations. You get Mark Henry, who tries to talk about how he has a pledge and stuff like that, and he just basically says the pledge allegiance to the flag stuff. I wish that they would have been more creative with that, but you get Rusev, who basically busts into the ring, attacks Mark Henry. They go back and forth for a minute, but Rusev does get over on Mark Henry, beats him down, holds him down, get ready to put him into the accolade, and then you get Mark Henry, who struggles out of it, throws Rusev off, hits him with a big slam, and then you get him throwing out the ring, Rusev throwing out the ring, and Mark Henry stands tall with the American flag, and that's how you end your Monday Night Raw. Surprising to see this as the main event to the Raw show, but I kind of get it that they didn't want to show another same thing that they've been showing all week, all for the last few weeks as main events. So it is what it is. As far as Raw goes, it was an okay show, pretty below average. Not too much to it. I thought the Rusev and Henry stuff was okay. It was, just being pushed up as the main event, which was very much in the wrong spot to me. I get why they did it, but it wasn't the wrong spot. I thought the Cena Lesnar stuff was really good here. I thought it had a couple good matches here, so I wouldn't give it a straight C. I'm gonna give it a straight C. It was pretty average, nothing big to it. There were talks of NXT guys going to be on the show tonight, but I didn't see it. If I missed it, I missed it. I really don't care. I'd rather see them on actual NXT, but it was an okay show tonight. Nothing too much to it. So yeah, C for the show. Pretty average. Thank you for watching my video, people. Like, comment, subscribe. If you hear the sound in the background, it's just a fan. It's hot as shit in LA, so I have to have this fan going. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. I'll talk back to you. Hit me up in the links down below. MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'll add you, whatever, and stuff like that. We can talk wrestling or football or whatever. Thank you for watching my video, people. Have a great night. Keep watching wrestling. Hopefully I'll see you with a video on Friday. Peace.